In the heart of ancient Tamilakam, long before the rise of modern empires and nations, there lived a young boy destined to become a legend. His name would be etched not only in the poetry of bards, but also in stone, in a dam that still stands today, more than 2,000 years later. His name was Karikala Cholan. He wasn't born into power. He was born into struggle. Karikala was the son of Ilimchachini Cholan, a powerful ruler of the early Cholas, one of the three great Tamil dynasties, alongside the Pandyas and the Cheras. His mother was a Velar princess, belonging to a noble clan of warrior chieftains known for their loyalty and courage. Karikala's blood was royal from both sides. But royalty does not always guarantee a peaceful childhood. Before Karikala could understand the weight of kingship, tragedy struck. His father, the ruling monarch, passed away under uncertain circumstances, plunging the kingdom into a crisis. Rival factions, Velar chiefs, and jealous courtiers eyed the Chola throne like vultures circling a wounded animal. In the midst of this political chaos, Karikala, still a boy, was imprisoned by conspirators who wanted him out of the line of succession. In prison, he was isolated, forgotten, and barely alive. But destiny would not let his story end in darkness. One fateful night, the prison where he was kept caught fire. While others perished in the flames, the young Karikala fought his way out. His body was battered, his leg terribly burned, but he survived. From that day forward, he carried the mark of fire on his leg. He became known as Karikalan, meaning the charred-legged one. But this name, born out of pain, would become a symbol of resilience. And so began the rise of a king. Karikala, now a fugitive prince, found support in the most unexpected places. Among his most loyal allies was his uncle, the renowned poet-warrior Irumpidartha Layar, a man known not only for his literary genius, but also for his strategic mind. With his help, Karikala gathered support from those who still believed in the Chola legacy. He wasn't just building an army, he was igniting a movement. Karikala returned to the battlefield, not as a victim of betrayal, but as a commander destined to reclaim his throne. And soon, his mettle would be tested in one of the most decisive battles of early Tamil history, the Battle of Venni. The odds were terrifying. Arrayed against him were three powerful forces: the Pandya king, the Chera king, and 11 Velar chieftains, all united in their desire to crush the Chola resurgence. But Karikala was undeterred. The battlefield of Venni became a theater of thunderous war cries, clashing swords, and charging elephants. Dust of battle, and the rivers ran red. But Karikala, with his sharp mind and fiery courage, led his forces with unwavering resolve. When the sun set on that historic day, the world had changed. Karikala emerged victorious, and the Chola dynasty stood strong once more. The unity of his enemies had shattered, and the legend of the charred-legged king began to spread like wildfire. But Karikala was more than a warrior. He was a visionary. Ruling from the capital city of Urayur, Karikala focused not just on conquest, but on nation-building. He understood the true greatness lay not in how many enemies you defeat, but in what you leave behind for future generations. And so he turned to the life source of his kingdom, the Kaveri River. The river was both a blessing and a curse. During the monsoon, it would flood the fields and destroy crops. During the dry season, it would shrink, leaving the land parched. Karikala envisioned a solution, one that would tame the river without destroying its natural rhythm. He ordered the construction of a dam. This was not just any dam. What Karikala envisioned was a stone marvel, a massive aqueduct built across the Kaveri, made of heavy granite stones, placed in a way that allowed water to be regulated, redirected, and preserved. This dam was called Kallanai, meaning stone dam in Tamil. Even today, engineers marvel at Kallanai's construction. Built without modern machinery, the dam was designed to divert water to the fertile delta regions, helping irrigation for thousands of acres. It wasn't meant to block the river, but to guide it, a masterstroke of hydraulic engineering. The fact that Kallanai still functions today, over 2 millennia later, is proof of the brilliance behind Karikala's vision. It is now considered the oldest water diversion dam still in use in the world. Karikala didn't build his legacy with just swords and blood. He built it with stone and foresight. Under his rule, the Chola kingdom prospered. Trade flourished. Ports like Puhar, Kaveri Pattanam, became centers of international exchange. Merchants from Rome and Southeast Asia visited Chola lands, drawn by the promise of gold, spices, pearls, and silk. Karikala is frequently mentioned in Sangam literature, especially in poems like Patinappalai, Porunarathrupadai, and Purananuru. These verses celebrate him not only as a fierce warrior, but as a compassionate ruler and an unparalleled builder. In one famous verse, he is described as the Yama of elephants, signifying his terrifying strength on the battlefield. In another, poets speak of how his rule brought peace, order, and abundance to the people. But his true monument is not in verse and not in legend. It is the Kallanai itself. Standing on the banks of the Kaveri, one can still see the dam, solid, ancient, and alive. Its stones whisper stories of a time when kings thought not just of conquest, but of continuity. When war was fought not only with steel, but with ideas. When a boy, wounded by fire, rose to become the builder of rivers. Karikala Cholan's story is a rare blend of human vulnerability and divine greatness. He suffered deeply, fought fearlessly, and built wisely. He reminds us that kingship is not about the crown. It's about the responsibility to dream for those who cannot. 2,000 years later, his dam still holds the waters of the Kaveri. And 2,000 years later, his story still holds the fire of inspiration. Karikala Cholan was more than a king. He was a force of nature, and like the Kaveri he tamed, he flowed through history with power, purpose, and permanence.